Are you an entrepreneur or are you a wantapreneur? Like a wannapreneur? Are you a wannapreneur? Like you want to be in business, like you like the idea, it's sexy, I run a company, but you don't want to understand the business dynamics? You haven't taken the time to educate yourself on the financial runnings of your own company, how to understand value-based pricing, orders of magnitude bidding, these kinds of things. You don't know how to ask for the sale. You don't want to talk about money. Well, we're here for the money talk, so obviously you do want to talk about money. But this is the kind of conversation I think that needs to be happening more often in greater depth so that you can be powerful in your creative business. One of the most valuable things I can tell you right now, you guys sell what you do. I sell what the world can do. There's a big difference. You sell what you can do. I sell what the world can do. I cannot do what Al does. I don't know how to make a website. People always ask me, what do you do? It's like, I don't know. I sell ideas. I just sell ideas. So Al Martinez knows his way inside and out of this world. I'm just going to call Al. Al, what's it cost? Let's do it. So I'm selling the services of anybody and everybody, best in class, best in breed, and that's why I charge so much money. So here's one idea that you need to keep in mind, okay? If you're growing your practice, if you're a solopreneur, if you're a 2-person operation, a 5-person operation, think like this. The next time you get a job inquiry, price the job so that you can afford the best person you know. And mark that up. Okay? So if you guys get a video job, a 3D job, you can call him. If you want to do video, call me. I'm not cheap, so you better ask for a lot of money up front. So if you guys want to make a video and you can't do it, don't walk away just because it's not in your wheelhouse. If I get hired to design a museum, I'm going to hire Frank Lloyd Wright, or not Frank Lloyd Wright, Frank Gehry, or Tadao Ando to design the church. That's what I want. I just need to be able to afford him, so I find out what he charges and I mark that up, because in between is where I'm happy. There's that gap, and the bigger the gap, the better off you are, because it allows you to have room for mistakes, for changes, for things that don't work out, contingencies, those kinds of things. Don't get the fool's rate. Here's the thing that really makes me upset, you guys. When schools run classes on business, what are they talking about? Oh, this is how you invoice, how much you charge an hour, work on your resume, let's get the CV right, you know? Nobody's really talking about what it is to understand about business. So just because Frank's one of his silly questions is, what's the difference between gross profit and net profit? It's like, what? Is that you?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Gross profit and net profit. We all know what profit is. Gross profit is revenue, right, minus cost of goods sold. It doesn't cover overhead. It doesn't cover the intangibles. So revenue minus cost of goods sold, COGS, that's what gross profit is. So I'm not a line item in the things in this office, right? They're like Monica, who does our bookkeeping, she's not a line item. I can't put bookkeeper. I can't put attorney in there. But those things got to come out of somewhere. So when you minus overhead, that's your net profit. Okay? Understand gross profit and net profit. It's really that easy. Okay? Super simple. Money in, money out. Okay? All right. I'm going to share an idea I learned recently. I'm going to tell it to you like I own it, like it's mine, but it's not. It's a guy named Mike Janda. Okay? And he wrote a book called Burn Your Portfolio. He calls it something. He calls it my worry date. I'm worried this date. I just call it runway. Okay? Runway. Like an airplane, when it lands, it needs a certain amount of runway. If it doesn't, you die. Simple. Your runway. How long is your runway before you die? You guys get it? Meaning. Okay, so he says, I'm going to do the super simple Christo version of it. I've already optimized it and refined it twice. Okay, here's how we do it. Look at your accounts receivable. I before E except after C, right? Look at your accounts receivable. Look at everything cash in bank, unpaid invoices. That's all the money you have coming to you right now, as of today. Okay? Accounts receivable divided by overhead. Let's say your accounts receivable is $100. okay? And your overhead every single month is, let's say, 25. So 100 divided by 25 equals what? 4. I did it easy for you guys. 4 months is how long your runway is. Every month, you're going to burn $25. Everybody understand so far? Every month, you're going to burn $25 to pay yourself, the cat food, laundry, whatever it is. That's what it costs for you to be in business, $25 a month. You have $100 coming into you. If no new business comes, you have 4 months left before you die. The worry date is this minus 1. Minus 1 equals 3 months. So in 3 months, you have to worry. That's why he says that's your worry date. In 3 months, you have to worry. That means you don't want to hit the end of the runway. You have to go and let some people go. You have to stop eating. I mean, you have to do something because you're going to run out of money. Okay? How many people know what their worry date is in this room? You know how much runway you have? You're there? Oh, how many people? Oh, I like that answer. Here's the end. His plane's like right here. It's like coming down, like hard landing, guys. Hard landing. Now, you know what? I appreciate your honesty. Thank you very much. I'm pretty sure half this room is there. You have people like, hey, can we get in on this plane? Because you guys are all riding it in. Okay? So you guys need to know this. Because what it's telling you is you're not charging enough, you're spending too much money, or you shouldn't be driving that BMW or Mercedes because you're living beyond your means. You're basically living hand to mouth. If somebody doesn't pay you, you're dead. If somebody's late on the payment, you're dead. There's things that you can do about this. Okay? So you need to know this, all right? I won't make you all embarrass yourselves and raise your hands. We're not going to do that. But thank you for being so brave. What you want to do is you want to get a loan from the bank. Line of credit. It's how businesses in America survive. A line of credit is a liquid account of a set dollar amount. Let's say it's 30K, right? So if you're 25, it's all relative to your numbers. Bigger companies need a much bigger line of credit. The line of credit is a guaranteed amount of money set aside by the bank for you to come and pull money out, knowing that you're going to get paid on a job. It's not a loan because you have to pay it back. It's just to give you capital so that you don't get stuck in the, what is it called, cash flow. Clients are late in paying you, you use your line of credit. We have a line of credit from Wells Fargo, I think it's $600,000. It helps us deal with issues. Luckily, I don't think we've ever used it. Okay? But it's all relative to the scale. Some other company would be $60 million line of credit, like GM. They would probably need a lot more than that, actually. Okay? Just to soften up some of these things. So get it into a relationship with your banker. I have a great relationship with my banker. His name is Mark. He called me today. How you doing? I saw the wood on the door. I love it. Your space is really cool. Do you guys want to go and see a game or something? I'm like, okay, no, I'm good. I have a relation with him. He tries to help me out all the time. Hey, I found a better rate for you. Let's do this. Let's execute this plan. When you have a relation with your banker, you know your business is healthy, okay? Because they want your business. So we talked about cash flow, line of credit. So the logo, John, it's 15 to 30. Yeah, 18 usually.
So the line of credit.
Yes.
How do you get it?
Call up your banker.
How do you
Have you been with a banker? Do you have a banking relationship, a business account?
Right.
There's a rep. There's a rep assigned to you. Now, if you have $0 in the bank account, there's probably 0 reps assigned to you.
Right.
But if you have money in that bank account and you're moving money in and out, we're luckily, we have amazing credit. I've been with the same bank for 20 years. They all know me. When I go into a bank in a different branch, they're like, oh my God, you're marked as VIP. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Because I don't live hand to mouth. So when I heard of this concept like a month ago in Richmond from Mike Janda, I was like, shoot, what is our worry date? I'm never worried. Should I be worried I'm not worried? So I asked my bookkeeper, Monica, who was here, maybe she's still here. I asked her, tell me all of this, and then tell me all of this. And our overhead here is friggin' ridiculous. It's something like $200,000. My burn rate is $200,000. Just process it, Frank, it's okay. Process that. This building is very expensive. The people in here are even more expensive. Matt, all right? It's very expensive. So I was scared. I was like, oh my God, I don't want to know this worry date. I work much better if I don't know these kind of facts. Our worry date is in 6 months. That's the financial health of the company. So I don't have to worry until the end of the year if no new business comes in, because we run a tight company.
I think you touched on something that most designers have, and I'm one of them, is I work much better when I don't know this stuff.
Yeah,
So
that's not good.
I know it's not good.
You need to run your business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But you know what? I want to just say this. Your financial IQ allows you to engage with clients on a higher level.
Exactly.
You notice how like most people are like, oh, math and this. I just know these things. I've learned these things. I've had a business coach. And guess what? Now you know these things, sort of. So you can be more powerful in the world.
You know, it's funny because I love doing this with clients, but I don't want to do it with me. I want the bookkeeper, I want to shirk that responsibility.
You want to talk about the neighbor whose wife is cheating on the husband, but we don't want to look at ourselves. Yeah, I get it. I totally get it.
I don't think I'm alone.
Okay, look, you guys. I hate to do this, but this is a Mark Cuban thing. Entrepreneur. I hope I spelled that right. Are you an entrepreneur, or are you a wantapreneur? Like a wannapreneur? Are you a wannapreneur? Like you want to be in business, like you like the idea, it's sexy, I run a company, but you don't want to understand the business dynamics? You haven't taken the time to educate yourself on the financial runnings of your own company, how to understand value-based pricing, orders of magnitude bidding, these kinds of things. You don't know how to ask for the sale. You don't want to talk about money. Well, we're here for the money talk, so obviously you do want to talk about money. But this is the kind of conversation I think that needs to be happening more often in greater depth so that you can be powerful in your creative business. And look, I'm the first person to tell you when the numbers hit me, because when I go to see my financial advisors, Jesse and I, my wife, I'm like, dude, go easy on me, because my eyes start glazing over when you go too deep. Tell me we're good health, when can I retire? That's all I need to know, those kinds of things. The rest of it, you guys can do your thing, because all those things turn off my creative brain. So I know I need to know just enough, and then the rest I don't need to know. And usually, my wife is the canary in the coal mine. Come home like, honey, what's going on with new business? I'm like, oh shoot. If she leaves me alone, things are okay, because she's moving money in and out of accounts all the time. Okay? And when you have enough money in the account, it's a freaking awesome thing. Because then my CPA is like, you know what? Let's move some of your money out of the account and put it into a higher return account. So the liquid account is here, but this, and so we're going to make more of an interest on this. So my money is making money for me. So that's the place we all want to get to, right? Go ahead.
Yeah, so like what would you say would be the next step for a designer to learn, you know, information related to like business and the creative steps? Because, you know, like you said, in college, you don't learn any of this, and most of my knowledge as far as revenue generation or looking into other companies as far as like how do you price it or anything like that, very, very rare.
First rule is you never cut somebody off on the question. I want to know the totality of your question. If you take too long, I'll be like this, but you know, so you can't do that. You got to listen to the whole question, because it's like, do I have an agenda? Do I have an agenda? No, I don't. Watch our videos. I believe we're one of the few creative people that are speaking about business in a transparent way that we are right now. I'm not saying this is a cocky thing. Go on the internet and find it. I don't think it exists. Successful people are too busy doing what they're doing. There's a lot of wannabes on the internet producing videos that have never done anything with their lives except for to get in front of a camera. We're in this kind of weird space where I've actually done business and I'm willing to share, and I have a genuine desire to share this information with you. Every time I talk to other business owners, they get really suspicious of me. Like, why would you do this? I'm not threatened by you, man. Remember, I'm the confident guy who's going to come in here and ask for the money I want to ask for. I don't believe because you win, I lose. So I'm going to share it with you guys. So do we have any other questions?
One of the topics that I saw on the event, Evi, was how do you know when it's time to fire a client?
I don't like to fire clients unless I just feel like they don't value what it is that I do. Now, you do understand that your website, who you are, all those things help to vet people, right? the way you write, the way you talk. And so I like to attract powerful business people. I hate working with artists, generally speaking. They're terrible. They're cheap. They don't think anything of their own creative work. And so they treat you the same way. They're being consistent. Their logic is symmetrical. Business people understand you don't get anything for free. High quality stuff costs a lot of money. Okay? They drive a Rolls Royce. They understand a Hyundai will get them there. But they prefer that because it feels right. So think about your site. Think about how it projects a certain image, and it's self-selecting. So there was a situation recently, I'm not going to get into it, where our clients didn't value what we did. They didn't, and they were bringing the price down, and I was like doing so many rounds of revisions. I came into the meeting, and I asked them, I said, look, I understand you're frustrated. You don't want to pay any more money. I totally hear you. So I don't think you see value in what we do, so let's figure out a kind of phasing out period, because I'm not here to convince you that we're valued X, Y, and Z. You know what the client said to me? We're not getting divorced. Tell me how much it's going to cost. We'll make it happen. I just needed to know the cost. That's a complete about face from all the other emails. We're not paying you another dime, whatever, this is not us, this is your fault, all these kind of things. So I just went in there and said what I felt. I don't want to argue with you. I don't think we see eye to eye on the value of the work that we've done. I don't want to prove to you all the work we've done. Let's figure out a way to get out of this. Okay? And then their immediate response is no. And guess what? So I'm going to tell you the real numbers right here, okay? The site came in at 30 something, and I wanted 80. So that's a big jump. I wanted to go from 30 to 80, even though contractually we already agreed to 30. And they had a disagreement as to all the things that we had done, changes and change orders, to get us to 80. I'm like, no, the site is really worth 80, you guys. And why is that? Well, how much did you pay for your last site? 120. And did you like it? Well, it was okay. Is our site better? Yes. Okay, so you don't want to pay that. Believe it or not, I got them to come back to 60. That's a pretty good negotiation, don't you think? To get a client to go like that? These are not exact numbers, but they're relative. Okay? Just simply because I accepted the fact that they don't like what it is that I'm doing. I don't convince, I do not sell, I don't argue. I manipulate. No, I'm just kidding. I just tried to understand it from their point of view. So when should you fire the client? When the client no longer values the work that you do and you don't see it going anywhere positive, it's time to have that conversation. And I like to have it in the same calm tone that I just had with you. I don't bring any negative energy. I don't really care. One thing that is nice about me is I understand how to turn off the emotional parts of my brain and just come in there completely neutral, detached from the results, so I can have a genuine conversation with them, and that's it. If you come in all angry, the negative energy begets negative energy, it becomes a battle, you will lose that every single time. Because they had a right to say, no, F you, we're not paying you anymore, deal with it. Do you want the rest of our business or not? Okay? There were 3 or 4 deals attached to this, so I got them to agree to pay more for the first job and the second and the third and the fourth job and forever forward. Pretty good deal. That's all just through talking. Wouldn't that have served you better in college than taking color theory? Yes, sir.
So when you were if you were going to fire them, or say that you came in and said, hey, how do we close this?
Yes.
Were you in mid-project still?
Yeah.
So then how?
Yes, sir. We'll say we'll wrap this up, we'll deliver, we'll shake hands, and we'll just turn over the assets to you. That was what was in my mind. I was ready to move on. I have literally fired a client before, twice.
If they had said, like, you know what, we don't want you to finish it. You did part of it.
No problem. Prorate it. We're fair. We'll prorate it. I want to be fair. I try to put myself in their position. If we did 80% of the work, and we're not going to charge you 100, we'll charge you 80. That's fair.
What about, going back to the logo, what about proposals?
What about proposals?
Do you guys write out a full proposal, or how do you?
Yeah, it looks almost like this, John. Yeah. Now, for strategy, I start with strategy. I call it discovery, because I want to discover something. It sounds a little bit more active. Okay? I'll write down what we're going to do. And then that's it. And then I say, meh. It's like that. It's almost like a one-page document. And then I have an assumptions page. I don't want to sell you anything, but I have templates on this if you are that interested in doing it.
No, I'm curious because I've seen where people have proposals that are like 4 or 5 pages long.
Yeah, we used to have those kind of proposals. I got rid of them. You're only giving the client an opportunity to cut you out, to say it doesn't take that long. That rate's too high. We never pay that rate. What are you going to do about that? I want to make it as hard as possible for the cost consultants to go and cut my bid up. This is what I do. This is how I do it. I don't say it like this, and I don't reference Amy, but you can hire another designer. I'll flip the board over, pretend, for $1,500. You should go use them. Look, I'll tell you something. Who here designs keynote templates or proposals or something like that? Anybody? I found out about it recently. I like to design them. What do I charge to design a keynote template proposal? Not to write it, but just to put it together. $10,000. Pretty much anything you ask me. You want to wash my car? It's $10,000. That's my time. That's my time. Except for when I'm doing it for you for a lot less. That's my time, okay? So the first client came to me, Chris, we heard great things about you. We need a PowerPoint presentation. We're going to go and seek investment. It's one of those decks. I'm like, it's great. How much you charge? $10,000. Whoa, for a PowerPoint presentation? I'm like, yeah, I know. That's a lot, right? He's like, yeah. You probably don't need this. No, I don't need this. You should hire a designer. They'll probably charge you $400 a day. A good one, right? Hire them. You'll probably spend 4 or 5 days. They'll work on that. That's what you'll spend. Call me when you need me to help you think through your template, not just the design part. A lot of people are good at that. He's like, appreciate, honesty, thank you so much, out. Another person came, out. Third person came, okay, $10,000. Done, sold it. So if you are going to stay by your number, you'll get it eventually. It's up to you. They didn't force you to take that thing for less. You force yourself. Oh, John, can we? Okay, yeah, 9. That's usually how it happens. You guys notice that? Right? You ask somebody for their rate. What's your rate? Well, you know, I've been trying to get like $400 a day. Okay, so you'll take 300? Yeah. It's pretty much like that. Okay, so here's the trick. You're going to talk about money? You state it like a fact. Now, if you go and raise your voice at the end, I don't believe you. If you stutter, if you stammer, if you beat around the bush, if you're uncomfortable saying the number, I don't believe you. And if I don't believe you, the clients don't believe you. They're much more sophisticated in business than you are. That's for sure. Okay, so here's the thing. Here's the trick. All right? That number, you got to like let it marinate in your mouth. You got to practice saying it until your tongue gets comfortable with saying that number. Amy Guzman, how much do you charge for a logo?
18,000.
That's right. You go tell your friend, you tell your mom, you tell your sister, your brother's cousin, whoever it is, you just tell somebody all the time until it becomes comfortable for you to say. Let it get used to saying it in your mouth. And just look at them right in the eye. Here's the next best part. After Amy says 18,000, what's she going to do? Stay silent. Don't kvetch. Don't have that nervous tick. Just stay silent. Wow, Amy, that's a lot of money. 18,000? That's right.
Yes.
Give me a little more warmth there. Come on. You know, you do what I do, which is like, yes, that is a lot of money, but I'm worth it. Okay, so I teach this. Frank, can you stand up so you can be in the camera for at least one shot? Come here. All right. Aaron, make sure he's out of focus. All right. So it's 18,000. That's a lot of money. You're like, yes?
Yes, that's a lot of money.
Okay, so if he says yes, that feels like, you know, a cold reaction. But come stand next to me. Now what are you going to say?
What?
You're going to say, that is a lot of money. I'm on the same side as you. Not yes. Yes, that is a lot of money. That's the embrace. You don't need that. You don't want to pay that. No, I do need that. I want to pay that. Because trust me, I'm a great lover. Okay, any other questions, guys? Any other questions? Go ahead, dude. Killing me.
Say you give your rate, but then the customer hits you up like a week later and says, I want to add this, this, and that, but you already agreed in the contract to get this. They want to do like add-ons.
No problem. I love add-ons. Oh, you want to play? You want to role play with me? Yeah, sure. Come on up here. Frank, scoot over one chair. All right, you stand here.
All right.
Huh? Go ahead. What's the deal?
So,
You gotta hold the mic here for it to work.
so we agreed on, or
Yeah.
you gave the rate, I agreed to it, and then I give you a call and I say, hey, Chris, I want this and this and this extra. Same price, right?
No, you just said extra.
Right, but you are charging a lot already.
I'm charging the fair price. Did you feel it was unfair when you agreed?
Well, no, but based on what we talked about, what I'm asking is sort of what I thought was included into the price.
Okay, hold on. Do you have the invoice, the scope of work document in front of you?
No, I don't.
Okay, I'll email it to you right now. There it is. Open it. Check it out. Let's just go over it.
Okay.
Let's go over it. So it says this, that, and that.
So that was my question initially is when you go over the scope, you have to make sure it's like boom.
Super clear.
So if they wanted to go add
Logo
more that's
3
not in the
rounds.
scope, then you just say,
Yeah.
okay.
Now
this is
look,
right.
I will tell you this. I like to charge a lot of money because I like to give great customer service. I don't want to nickel and dime my clients. And I tell them that. This has worked for me, okay? The client said, Chris, we told you we have $85,000 to do the video. Why did you guys submit? This is like the executives from a large company on the phone. And I'm surrounded with my producers, my creative team. I think Matt was on the call. No, maybe he wasn't. Why did you submit a bid for $100,000? We told you we can only spend 85, and it's totally true. I said, I'm sorry, but I've been doing this for a long time. Nothing ever works out the way we plan. You change something, you're late on giving us a response, you want to try another idea, and I want to do that for you. Except for when I bid it out at 85, my producer's going to say, Chris, we have to ask for an overage. And I hate that kind of relationship. Look, between you and me, size of the company, 15, that's what you probably spend on lunch. It's not a big of a deal. If you want to do it at 85, I'm happy to do it at 85, but prepare for the overages to come. Like, great, Chris, we'll think about it. An hour later, they approved budget, Chris. I'm like, all right, great. And I gave them great customer service. And guess what? They didn't add any weird changes. It was awesome. And they were thrilled. They were thrilled with the work. And because I set up the expectation that we're experts, I'm experienced, and this is the way it's going to work. I get to dictate that. I don't have to do the job because my runway is 6 months. When your runway is 0 months, negative 0 months, you're in trouble. So we got to get ourselves out of this. So the only way you can do this is to manage your overhead and expenses. Work out of your house. Don't buy the fancy desk and the furniture. You don't need it. You don't need it. It's only going to hurt you, okay? Don't do that. Live within your means, okay? I love scope creep. I love scope creep. You heard the term.
Yeah.
The scope of the job is creeping beyond the initial assignment. I love scope creep because my clients pay me more. That's it. You guys hate scope creep because it means you're doing more work for the same money. Yeah, this is a great question. It's like, are legal documents important? I've never sued a client. You're not going to win. They're your client. They have more money than you. This is how the legal system works in America. It totally is. They'll pummel you into submission, and you're like a gnat. You really are. So I like the spirit of what's written and the relationship that's built. I say, and I've said this, you are a business person. I run a small business. I can only run it if we're profitable. What you're asking us to do would put us in the red. It is not sustainable for us to do it this way. I know you're a fair person. Let's have a reasonable conversation about this. Why don't we settle on 60 cents on the dollar? Is that a fair compromise for you? That's how we do it. If they're like, no, it's like, okay, I understand. I tried to appeal to your logic, to your good-natured personality. I understand we don't see eye to eye. I think it's time for us to end the relationship. And we get out, not angry.
Do you ever stipulate in the contract if there was an add-on or scope creep that the contract would change into a new contract?
No, we don't do that. We just say like anything that's not explicitly said in this contract is considered out of scope, for which we will provide you an estimate for, and we will not do the work until you approve it.
Do you turn down work? And obviously the answer is yes, but so.
I don't turn down work. I do not turn down work. Very rarely do I ever turn down work. I want to answer that question.
Okay.
They turn down the work because the price is too high.
Okay.
I don't turn down the work.
Do you find that happens more often now than when you first started? And if so, when did that transition happen?
It happens, I think, I think it happens more now than before. I'm less affordable than I was before. So before, it was like, all right, $500, I'll do it.
Yeah, and that's a good thing. That's where I want
It's a good thing.
To the point to where I can turn down work. So when did that transition happen?
It happened in 1999. This was the internet boom. There was too many jobs. I could not do all of them. And I couldn't grow the company fast enough. There were not enough good people doing motion design work. And we were one of 6 companies in the world that can do the work that we do at the level in which we can do it. That puts us in a great spot. So in 1999, prior to the dot-com crash, my producer would tell me there's a project. I said, I want to get on the phone. I cannot do any more work. The only thing you could do right now is double the budget. So she would double the budget. She says, they approved, we're on the phone. I tried to make the jobs go away. I could not. I know you guys are like, playing me violin. I just couldn't. So it begins, it's just about capacity. I like to price myself out to a certain point that only a few people can work with me, okay? You guys ever go to an event and you pay like $400, $200, something like that? You notice the quality of people that show up are much higher than the riffraff that come in for an event for $40? Do you know what I'm talking about? They're a lot more, they're smarter. No, I'm just kidding. You guys, come on. It's a trial introductory rate. I don't mean this as in a disparaging way, but the clients that are going to call you, Sean, are not going to call me. Believe it or not, I've had to change our work so that the clients that you're talking to would even look and consider us because they're like, we don't want that. We can't afford you because if Nike, Audi, Range Rover, Sony, Microsoft can afford you, we cannot afford you. But I haven't even told you my price yet. So we literally created another company with a new identity, with new work that's worse, just so they would take the call. Is that weird? Yeah, that's what we did. It was an experiment. It didn't work. I went back to the higher price company because that worked better. I feel like there's this massive gap and therefore some bit of disservice that's happening to creative people right now. You cannot enter into the market space, whether you're fresh out of college, like my friend over here, and not know this stuff. You're at a disadvantage just by entering into the marketplace. So this was a little bit of an experiment. I would love to hear your feedback. You can direct message me wherever you can find me. Tell me what you liked, tell me what you didn't like, tell me what you want more of. Thank you very much, guys.